Hey, welcome everybody to my show, Bridging the Seen and Unseen. I am your host. I am Shane McLain, and this is the wonderful Gwen. How are you?
I'm good. And I'm going to say officially welcome back from your time where you had to take a break.
I know. That was such a crazy time. Because like I really wasn't sure, how things were gonna play out because I was in the hospital so long.
Yes.
And but once my levels started getting back better, but now I ran into another issue.
Oh no.
I went to dialysis, the center that I go to, one time, and they infiltrated my arm.
Oh.
So where they stick the needle in my arm for dialysis?
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're going to be able to now because it might be closed off.
Oh, shame.
So I'm going to have to go and get that looked at now. So, I mean, it's just been one thing after another with that, and guys, anybody that's on dialysis and somebody tells you that they have an easy time with it, it's never an easy time. You're always going to have something, but God is good. I'm here. We're all here and we're going to have a good time. So Gwen, question, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm in Wisconsin visiting. I had an event this weekend. My shoulder is a month out today from surgery, and it's doing good. I'm still in a sling. This thing, it has a pillow sling.
Yep.
I'm still in it. That's okay. I'm doing good. I'm doing exactly what the doctor says. Shane was fussing at me a little bit because he was worried, but
yeah. I mean, you're sitting there telling about how sore you are, but you travel everywhere. You're like Indiana Gwen.
That's right. You can't stop me.
Yeah, that's what I mean, dude. It's like what? Dude, like calm down, breathe. But it's good to be here. It's good to see you too. I know you're gonna get better. Your shoulder's gonna heal up. It's gonna get better. But guys, thank you.
Jeff Kaler is saying he's praying for both of us. Say thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, God. Thank you very much. That's what we need. That's what we need. We need more prayers. We need more people sending positive vibes. We need those kind of things happening because that's what's going to get everything through with me.
That is. And that's how you got out of the hospital. Because I had everybody praying. And however they do. No judgment, no ever.
I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it.
That's how you got out because everybody was rooting for you. So, tonight. And he's a little nervous, so you guys.
Yeah. But that's what I was about to say. Tonight, everybody knows that I'm a Knights Templar, and the alliances that we have are kind of hard to explain, with people because we've got so many of them. I mean, there's so many of them, but the gentleman that I have tonight is a GM of an order called Disciples of Christ, Knights Templar Disciples of Christ. So let's bring on GM John Hill.
All right, thank you for having me.
What's up, buddy?
Oh man, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're healthy. Glad both of you are here. I'm glad to see you guys.
Listen, God is good. God is good. I'm too blessed to be stressed, and I try my best not to let any of that like affect. Sometimes it does. But I've got a little feisty little 110-pound blonde head wife over here that will not let me stay down for too long.
Right.
Yeah, she kickstarts, man. She doesn't just like, oh, let me hope you get better. She kickstarts, she's like, bend over. Dude, I can get into that, but I'm not gonna do it. But no, she kickstarts. She really does. But it really does help me though. When she does that, it does because it has me thinking that I need to start concentrating on more things than just the issues that I have. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But man, like I said, I'm too blessed to be stressed, brother. So, hey, why don't you start off by telling everybody who you are and a little bit about yourself?
All right. Well, I'm Grandmaster John Hill, Knights Templar Disciples of Christ. Ordained Minister, New Hampshire Notary Public. Um, Also founder of Kingdom Impact Ministries. Been a Knights Templar for probably going on 3.5 to 4 years now, maybe a little bit less. Been a GM for probably maybe 2.5 years. I think I'm like the freshest baby GM out of all the Grandmasters that I know, which is exciting in itself. But there's a lot of work behind it, especially when you're trying to rebuild a Templar order that at one time had a bad reputation or whatever, and we've done that. We've gotten our respect across several different orders across the world. We're trying to start an anti-human trafficking operation. Just do whatever we can to help change the world, make it a little bit better place for everybody.
See, that's amazing. That's amazing. And that's what being a Templar is. Like, if you see the shirt that I'm wearing and stuff like that, that's our Templar oath and stuff like that. So when you become a Templar, man, you say an oath, you take an oath, and that oath is for life.
Yeah.
That oath is for life. It means something, and you have to take that for what it is. We are not like the old crusaders, back in the 1200s like that. We're modern day, but we honor everything that they've done because they're defenders of Christianity. We're defenders of Christianity. And the alliance that we have with our church and our orders and stuff like that is just growing, and it is becoming just it's going to be a force to reckon with. It really is.
Yep.
Amen. What do you think, John? It's going to be a force, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I mean. And and the thing is like, they have, when we talk to them about doing this alliance, because we were Knights Templars already too, and we wanted to base our alliances off people that were Knights Templars. And you do have different orders. You do have different orders. Like next week I'm going to have the military GM that comes on. He's awesome too. I'm going to have a guy named Bear come on. He's awesome. I mean, you guys are going to meet some fantastic people, but who you're meeting right here is part of the main leadership of our entire alliance.
Yeah.
Hey, Shane, just 1 second. Are you bumping your speaker?
I'm not. My phone's still.
Okay. John, is something bumping your speaker?
No, ma'am.
I hear that too.
You hear that? It's not me. That's why I was looking around.
Hold on. I hear that too.
Mm-hmm.
Like crackling a little bit.
Yeah. It sounds like someone's like tapping.
Mm-mm. It's just us.
Right.
Yeah, we got John. We got this thing called gremlins, and when the gremlins show up, like they'll cause one of us to just go completely off the screen. They'll cause stuff like this happening. So I mean, it could be those gremlins.
It could be.
It very well could be.
So that's.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, John. Where do you see our alliance in our order in a year's time?
Oh man, I see it being worldwide, because there's a lot of people waking up and realizing what is actually going on. There's a lot of people waking up to the darkness that is in the world and realizing that, that they're going to need somebody, and it's not just about going to church or whatever, but you're going to need somebody to help you along the way. So I definitely see it becoming a whole lot stronger. Right now, it's very strong.
Oh, it is. It is. It is.
Yes, sir.
I would not. I would put our alliance that we have against any other one because I don't think somebody can come in and infiltrate what we got going on. I
I
don't
don't see
think
that.
so. I
Right.
don't see it either. Um, you know, like me, for instance, I'm teaching, in our alliance that we have, I'm teaching the spiritual warfare class. Go in, that I'm spiritual warfare, demonology, exorcism, stuff like that. But I'm teaching a class with them. So we have Knights Templars that are learning in spiritual warfare that are willing to actually step into ministry and possibly start working cases like we do.
Oh, nice.
And that just leaves more help for people because we can't be everywhere.
Right.
Like I get calls from people that are like way away, Wisconsin, Minnesota, stuff like that. And that's very difficult to get up there. But
Well,
if
you
we
know to call me because I know people all over. So
Yeah.
if anybody needs help, always.
but they gotta but see, we have a certain way that we do things.
True.
We have a certain way, and I would have to talk with the person to get them to do it because like our clearing and cleansing, I use a very theological way, to do it, and I'd prefer them use that and not use anything that's outside of that because the old saying is if it's not broke, don't fix it. And it's been working for thousands of years, doing this. So I mean, we're building a foundation. We're building something really, really good, and we want the world to know that we're here and we're here to help. And not only that, but I'm going to introduce a lot of these guys to come in with me to work in the paranormal to help teams, with grounding, with clearing, cleansing, protecting yourself, things like that, like I've done before. And I mean, it's going to be a really good deal, and we're just getting started, but we're here. We're here. We're ready to go. And we are ready to make a difference because we are defenders of Christianity, but we are defenders of humanity too. We believe we love people. We want to be able to help people, no matter if it's at a food bank or like you said, like trafficking women and children. I mean, that's boots on the ground kind of stuff right there. And see, we have the right people. We have the right people that will put boots on the ground, that will be part of that. And then we have the church side of it too, that is helping to strengthen those people that are boots on the ground. So, I mean, we've got everything lined up how we want to. And I see it going really far. How about you, John?
Yes, sir. Same here. There's a lot to learn. It's like you told us in the beginning, this isn't for the faint of heart. This isn't for the weak of heart. You have to be strong-willed, strong-minded. You have to be grounded in faith. You have to be rooted in Christ. Because if not, they're going to attack you. You're going to get attacked. Your home is going to get attacked. So as you were talking about being grounded, that's first and foremost. Learning the pre-investigation rituals, the questions to ask the clients, this and that, that goes along with it. Obviously, the investigation itself, that's a little bit different. Then you have the follow-ups after it's all said and done. So, I mean, every bit of it's important, but if you're not rooted in your faith, if your faith isn't strong, and if you're not rooted in Christ, then it's not going to go anywhere. You're just going to have the complete opposite effect of what you're trying to get done.
I know. That's exactly right too, because that's what we have we have built ourselves around, you know, being a Templar itself. Literally, Templar is defender of Christianity. You know, but like I said, but you have to have that faith. You have to have that understanding, and you have to have that love for not only God but for people too. You need to love and be able to see people the way that God does, and and it's a passion, it's a calling, it's something that we're called to do, and I choose to be in this and be a Knights Templar, be an Archbishop the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So,
Absolutely.
so I mean, I've made a commitment to not only me, but to God, to my family, to everybody, to our order, I've made a commitment. And I think we all have, you know, not only with our oath that we take as Knights Templars, but just our understanding, and it's almost like an oath that we took as an alliance together, because we are going to grow together. We are going to build something powerful.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So, I told you, we're going to kind of bounce everywhere, man. We're kind of going to bounce everywhere. I just wanted to get people to understand.
Hey, Shane.
Yeah.
I got to go do something for 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. I just wanted to get people to understand like who we are, what we're about, you know, and I think there's a good understanding there because we do have some great people. And for all you that are watching, all our Templars that are watching and that are on, thank you for being here. We love that you're here. We love the support, and we can't wait to see where this goes, guys. Seriously.
Oh, man.
But
Can I add
now
one
that
thing
you
to
got,
what you said?
huh?
Can I add one thing to what you said right quick?
Go ahead.
A lot of people, when they hear the term militia or Knights Templar or whatever, they think automatically violence or fighting or something like that. You guys, we are defense only. We do nothing on the offense unless it's spiritual warfare. That is the only offensive thing that we do. Everything else is defense only. So we're not out here, you know,
Knuckle up, buckle
people.
up.
Yeah. We're not trying to train people to knuckle up. We're trying to train you to defend yourselves to when stuff really hits the fan, and it will. It's just a matter of time. But when it really does hit the fan, there's places to go for certain things, medical supplies. There's certain things to do for, you know, for whatever. So, and I just wanted to throw that out there because, like I said, a lot of people think that term, the militia term, there's a bad word disassociation with that, and so people automatically think like you know, violence or knuckling up or whatever, you know, and that's not the case.
Yeah. And another thing too is like a lot of people have this misconception that all of Knights Templars are Freemasons too. And you know, we are not Freemason.
Right.
We are not Freemason. We don't follow the guidelines, the rules, the whatever they do behind. We don't do it.
Yeah, no, there's no Freemasonry allowed. You know, that's getting into a whole different side of it.
Oh, I know. I'm trying not to, but I just wanted to let people know that we don't. That we don't have that. And I think it's smart to do that because, you know, even if we have some people that aren't, you know, that they may think, oh, they're Knights Templar, they're probably Freemason, you know, and I've heard that a lot. And guys, we are not Freemason.
Yeah, I had to get Shane. I had to get you to explain it to me briefly that it wasn't the same. People do think it's the same because they don't know.
Yeah. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
But they don't know. So
that's it. You know, and the thing is like, because there are orders out there. There are orders that if you look up Knights Templar and stuff like that, there are orders that are that do have Freemason stuff like that. We're not with them. We're not, we don't have an affiliation. They're not in our orders. It's just, it's just really, it's really a different belief in how we operate. But we're proud of what we're doing. But we are not Freemasons, guys.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this, John. Have you ever in your life had a paranormal experience?
Is he thinking or is he froze?
Are you frozen?
I think he froze.
Oh, see?
Gremlins. It's okay.
You start talking about it.
No.
It's okay. He'll come back. They may be having bad weather. Well, no, I think they said they did. True nights are not with you. Okay. A lot of people don't understand that, though.
Yeah, I know.
You should hear us go out and come back in, and it should fix it.
Yeah, John, get out, and come back in. You're frozen.
Okay, let's see. Let me see.
Can he not hear us either? There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
He did. He heard us. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it'll glitch. Sometimes we talk about certain things and it glitches. You know how it is.
Yeah, as soon as I said paranormal, bang, boom.
Bang. There you go. Actually.
So I told him we're going to talk a little bit about everything.
Yeah, he'll be back. It takes a minute, but he'll be back. So, yeah, a lot of people don't understand. I don't totally understand everything, but I know you've told me enough that it. I know certain things. So.
Yeah. We're not like I said, dude. We're proud to be. Knights Templars. We're proud of who they are, what they did, what they've done, and even what our modern day Templars are doing today. We're wanting to make a difference where a difference needs to be made.
Right. All right. Hopefully he'll come back in.
Is he coming back?
I hope so. I'm going to give him a minute and I'm going to message him to make sure he just knows to click the link again. Let me send a message to him real quick.
Asked, do I have to see?
I think there he's back. He's back.
She hasn't still had a paranormal experience.
Oh, he's still spinning. Okay. He's still spinning. Thank you. There you are.
John, what did you do? What did you do? Go jump rope outside for a little while?
No, I think the battery overheated on the phone and it had to cool off for a second or something.
Yeah, you slap your phone. You tell your phone, you do that again, I'm gonna knock the technology out of you.
Right?
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. So my question was before, have you ever in your whole life had or been around a paranormal experience?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about it.
Well, I think my very first experience was when I was about 5 or 6 years old. I remember I was in the car with my mother. We were going to see my grandfather, and we were on our way to his house. And I remember that an ambulance was passing us on the way. We were probably still like maybe 5 miles out from his house. And ambulance passes. As I'm looking back, I see him standing on the where the two double doors meet, waving goodbye. We get to his house. I told Mom, I said, we just passed Papa. She said, no, we didn't. She said, that could have been anywhere, which was true. We get to the house and they said, y'all just missed the ambulance. They just took your daddy. And so that was my very first experience with paranormal. Throughout the years, it's been several other things, seeing orbs, seeing shadow figures, seeing whatever. But there has been multiple experiences. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I asked that because, like I said, we're clergy that work inside the paranormal field, so of course we see it. My wife and I see it. But I always know that our God is stronger than that, and that we can make a bigger difference inside working. So I appreciate it. I also had my first experience when I was 10 years old. I saw my grandfather. He built a mirror that was on a wall, and I was standing there adjusting my tie, and I looked up, and he had already passed, and he had his hand on my shoulder, and he was standing right behind me. And so I turned like this to look, and he wasn't there. And then there were other times to where, like, my grandparents were those kind of people that slept in different rooms. So my grandfather had his room. So when he would get up, he had a certain method that he did. He'd unfold his bed. He'd go to his closet. He'd open his closet. He'd grab a suit out, lay the suit on the bed, lay his shoes down at the bottom of the suit, and then walk to his bathroom and go and take a shower. Well, 6 o'clock in the morning. And this is like 2 months after my grandfather passed away. 6 o'clock in the morning, I get up and I hear water running. And I'm like, wow, what? So I go back and I open my grandfather's door a little bit, and I see steam coming out the bathroom. And I'm like, what in the world? So I went in there, and the hot water's just blaring in there, blaring. So I went and cut it off and everything, trying to wipe it all in my face and stuff like that. And I come back out, and as soon as I came back out, like, I was shook. I looked into my grandfather's room. His bed was folded back. His closet door was open. A suit was laid out. His shoes were laid right at the bottom of the suit. And not only in the bed, but you can see the feet imprints where he was in the bed.
Oh.
So and my grandmother walks in, and my grandmother is a diehard Baptist little Irish woman.
Right.
And she came in, and she was so mad. She was like, why would you do this?
Right.
And I'm like, Mama, I didn't do this. I said, I just got up myself. I heard water running. She didn't see the shower running. So I told her what had happened. And I know the look that my grandmother had on her face, because, like, I'm a young boy. How would I remember and do all the stuff, the same things that my grandfather used to do in a matter of 3-4 minutes?
Wow.
So that was what I had with my grandfather. I mean, I've seen negatives, seen shadow figures. My wife and I saw a shadow figure inside my dialysis center. And the thing was on the ground, and it came up, and we were all lined up on this side of the dialysis center, and we had 2 cat balls that were going off and other equipment on the other side, but nobody was on the other side. And so we were all, me, my wife, and 2 nurses were on that side. And as soon as we were there, you clearly see this thing stand up. And it's probably 9 feet tall, dude.
Wow.
And none of us could explain where that was. There were no shadows. There were no door openings. Nobody was over there. Like, there is no reason that something like that should have happened. And another one is the chair that I used to sit in dialysis. I went on a Thursday, and I was on the machine, and I closed my eyes, and I woke up, and I was having a panic attack. I mean, a real panic attack. And I told the nurses, I said, look, you got to take me off this machine right now. You got to take me off. So I got off the machine, and then found out that my days were Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. The days Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the guy that sat in my chair committed suicide. His mom committed suicide. His dad committed suicide. His sister committed suicide, and he committed suicide. So that panic attack that I was having, I was feeling the pressure, and I was feeling his exit, you know, and I didn't know how to describe it. But we did an entire clearing and cleansing of our dialysis center, every single chair, every window, every wall, every single thing in there. And to this day, they have had no issues. And the issues before, not only that, but the lady that runs the place was a skeptic. She didn't believe in ghosts. She didn't believe that things could affect you. She didn't believe in none of that. She didn't believe in none of that. And we had some people that would come and they open up real early in the morning. They open up at 4:30 in the morning, you know, to get everything ready. And Susan, she looks like Medea. She looks just like Medea, acts like Medea. She just looks like Medea. And I mean, I call her that because like her feet are bigger than any guys I ever know. And I mean, you can't tell me that that's a woman right there. She's probably swinging, you know, she's probably going to a nudie beach over there. You know, she is Medea, but she was there opening up. She was there opening up at like 4:30 in the morning, and she heard a door creak. So she looks out the office and she looks down the hallway, and she saw a black figure come out of the door like this, stare at her, and go back really quick. Other ones were getting touched. They were walking through, and there were certain areas back there where they were getting touched. And then the lady that was a skeptic, it happened to her.
Right.
She saw it. And we're sitting at our house.
She wasn't a skeptic. Don't want to that.
We're sitting at our house, and Jen and her, you know, the lady that runs the whole place, she called me and says, McLain.
Right.
That's what they call me. And they're like, we need you. And I'm like, wow, what's going on? And they started telling me about everything that I just told you. But you know, that was just one of the times that we had there. But I tell you what, man, I wouldn't change what I do for anything. You know, I mean, John, I sent you some, you know, where people wrote about my wife and I.
Right.
You know, I sent that to your I sent that to your messenger. You see what people say. And that's because we love helping people. We love being able to be the voice of reason, to help if you got a paranormal issue, you know, to let you know that you're not alone, because not everybody appreciates the paranormal. Not everybody appreciates, you know, having paranormal around them or their family or anything like that. And, you know, we have to make sure that we are ready and fully equipped to help them deal with what they are.
Right. I agree.
Now that I've talked way too much, I'm sorry. But
no, you're good, man. I love hearing that, because
yeah. You know, it's just these are just things that we've gone through, you know, that make us not only who we are today, but why we're here today.
Right. Right.
You know, so I mean, it's like so what do you think about the spiritual warfare class? What do you think? You think I mean, like we're about to get into session 2 there, and I'm about to break down a lot in there, but I think our first one that we had was a good one.
It was a very good one. Yeah. A lot of interesting information. There's a lot to look at. There's many different moving parts to this machine. It's not just, you go in there, say some prayers, do this, do that, whatever. There's a whole checklist, a whole checklist that has to be done.
Yeah.
And so you have to be ready. Like you said, you have to know that you're getting into something that isn't going to want you there. You're getting into something that is going to fight you inside and out, whether it be panic attacks, whether it be whatever it may be, scratches, whether it be physical manifestations, whatever. You have to be ready for that. And
Yeah.
the classes that you're giving us, man, is awesome. There's a lot of knowledge to be learned. I love the first one. I'm looking forward to the second one.
Yeah.
Looking forward to all of them, because you can never learn too much. There's always so much to learn from somebody else. So I think everyone else in the spiritual warfare training group would agree that, that was a very awesome first class. It was a lot.
It
Don't
was.
get me wrong. And you gotta kind of take it little bit by little bit. But I think everybody's, looking forward to the second one. I think everybody's looking forward to going out there. And what I would like to see is, like, because everybody's so spread out, be that, like, we have teams over here in the northeastern part of the country, like in New Hampshire, where I'm at, New Hampshire, Connecticut, New Jersey, Maine, Mass. Then you got down south teams, and like you guys where you're at, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia. Then you got the Midwestern teams and the Northwestern teams and all that. That would be what I would like to see once everybody gets their knowledge, up.
Yeah, I definitely.
Without the
Go
proper
ahead.
knowledge, you're not going to have a proper fight.
That's it, man.
I just say without the proper knowledge, you're not going to have.
Say that again.
Huh?
Say that again. That last thing you said.
Without the proper knowledge, you're not going to have a proper fight.
That's it.
Without the proper knowledge. Yeah.
That's it. I studied theology for 30 years, and I was a full-time pastor, so I've got sermons online and stuff like that where I was preaching, and I mean I enjoyed preaching, but when you see people coming into a church and they have real issues, real problems, and nobody in that church has a real solution except for saying, "Oh, we'll put you down on the prayer list."
Right.
Well,
that's not enough.
Well, that's good. Sometimes, I mean, the Bible says faith without works is what? Dead. So if you have faith that prayer works, but you're not willing to work your faith in helping that family, what good is your faith?
None.
So I chose, when I stepped down, that's what I wanted to do. And I started specializing in spiritual warfare, demonology, started learning about different cultures, demonic activities, names, things of that nature. And then, of course, exorcisms, which is a last resort. I try, John, my goal is to kind of veer not only paranormal teams, but families away from that D word. Because a lot of what they're seeing on TV and a lot of what they're hearing from other people, like everything's a demon.
Yeah.
A coffee cup moving across the table.
Be very careful with that.
No, and look, I have a very specific, manifesto that has to be that a person will have some kind of demonic influence to it. You know, there's manifestation, there's infestation, there's oppression, there's possession. And then even after possession, there's obsession. So you've got to, if you're not experiencing in one of those and you are not fully oppressed, you know, by it. Now, my first time I ever saw a demon was inside of a church.
Okay. Wow.
That's the first time I ever saw a demon was inside church. And it flung the guy against a wall, probably 12 feet. His bones started contorting and popping, and like his knuckles and all were turning, eyes jet black. He was hissing and spitting out the side of his mouth and speaking different languages. I mean, like Aramaic and I mean, just things that there's no way this guy could speak. And that's the first time I ever saw one.
What was your thoughts when you saw that for the first time?
Actually, you know, when I first, you know, because I was standing right in front of the guy. And what got me is like no one knew who he was. Nobody had ever seen him before. Nobody had ever didn't know who he was. You know, usually you see people a couple times there, you get greeted and stuff like that. And I just noticed that when this guy came, no one greeted him. No one said anything to him. He didn't say anything, not a word. Had his hands by his side, and he came right up behind me, and he sat down in the chair, and he was just staring forward. He was staring forward. Everything was fine. And then as soon as the worship was about to start, we stood up. And as soon as the worship started and the name Jesus came out, this guy, he got thrown. His chair first went all the way against the wall, smacked the wall. Then he went, smacked the wall. And then that's where everything started. So, the priest and I, we had to get everybody out, you know, of the church, because man, you had kids in the church, you had women there that had never seen anything like that. I mean, it's scary to see something like that, you know, and that's what I try to tell people, man. I said, you better be glad you're not demonically oppressed or possessed. You better be glad, because that demon's goal is to terrorize you, to kill you. Yeah. We are God's creation. We are his ultimate creation. He created us on earth to be that. We are his proudest thing that we have. So the best way to get back at God is to tear God's people from the inside out. It's the same thing as the book of Revelations talks about the 7 churches, about the demons that will tear up the churches. They do it from the inside out. Yeah. That's the way they're going to do it. But it was scary, brother.
I bet.
Have you ever had an experience with a demon?
I have. I've never really had no personal encounter with it, but I've seen it personally. I've seen it in real life. And if you don't know what you're looking at, like, it's scary. It almost takes your breath away.
Oh, man.
This isn't, you know, the supernatural TV show. This isn't Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures. Like,
YouTube.
I really think that people, you know, they see what they see on TV and think that they can kind of emulate that in real life. You can't do that. Like, you have to be, once again, you have to be rooted in Christ. You have to be strong in the faith. You have to know what you're going against. Because if you don't know your enemy, then you're not going to know how to fight it.
Your enemy, the enemy knows you better than you know the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
And that's just simple. That's just simple like that. But I will be completely honest with you. Number one, not all paranormal's demon. Number two, not everything is demonic. You know, there's ways to describe things. Paranormal is paranormal. You have different shadow figures. You have residual hauntings. You have things like that. Not everything is a demon. But out of all the cases that I've had, this is no lie, 1% may be demonically oppressed. 1%. It doesn't happen a lot, because a lot of what people are considering is not, if you have a paranormal activity, it can be explained. If a coffee cup's moving across the table, there's viable, like for instance, we had a lady and a child that had two paranormal teams come to her house, and she was told by both teams that because coffee cups were getting thrown across the room, cabinets were opening, things like that, that she had a demon.
It's going on and on.
So she was ready to pack up, take her child, and leave.
Yeah.
So when we started questioning, we started finding out, because like I said, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I have like 100 questionnaire that I have somebody do before. I have 100 thing a questionnaire that we do that will help me understand not only what you're going through, but your mental status. And I also have a release that protects us and them, but it gives us access to where we can compare mental health to demonic oppression.
Right.
So that's the best way. That's the best way we know. But this woman was ready to leave her house. And I was like, why? Because she goes, my cabinets keep opening, coffee cups fly across, I hear knocks, when I go back in my room, I hear knocks, and things like that. And and I'm thinking, I'm like, none of that is demonic. Like none of that. And then I found out that 6 months earlier, her husband got on a motorcycle, was going to the store, and he got hit by a car. He died. So while he was living, and she remembered this, while he was living, she would wash dishes, and he would go behind her and open the cabinets. He drank a lot of coffee. So when he was moving the coffee cups, that was him moving the coffee cups. So that was not a demon. That was not it was not a malevolent spirit. That was her husband letting her know that he's still there and that you could be comfortable because I'm here with you.
Right. Residual energy, basically.
So, I mean, that's why we do what we do, because if you're not able to really get in, because you have these paranormal teams that go in, that know nothing about grounding, that know nothing about clearing, that know nothing about protection, and they just go in there and they run, and you got a family or something that has all this activity, and then you come in and amp it up. After you leave and you've got all your footage, guess what's going to happen to that family?
It's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse. It's going to get much worse. And so my suggestion is that if you don't have a plan for being able to fully able to help that family,
right,
with that issue, if you're doing an investigation, just don't do it.
Yep, exactly.
Just don't do it.
That's why I said, like, people see these TV shows, man, they think that, that it's all fun and games until, till the real tough guy shows back up. Like, it's not that simple, you guys. Like, it's very complicated somewhat. It's very dangerous, not just to the people that are doing the investigations, but as you said, also to the families as well. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to bring more harm to the families.
Yep.
And that defeats the whole purpose of what we're doing.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it, man. And we have to be, my motto for the paranormal team that we have that goes in and investigates is Outer Realms Paranormal. And my motto for that is be the change that you want to see.
Right.
Be the change. And you can't be a change if you're not helping make a change.
Right.
So the best thing to do is to work either with, a crew or people that have that same mentality that want to make a difference, that want to change the way that things are for the better and to do things like that. And, but yeah, man, we've dealt with a lot. And I got another one for you, John.
Yes, sir.
I got another one. Have you ever heard of cryptids?
Yes, sir.
What's your thought about cryptids?
I've done a lot of research on different kind of cryptids across the country. Some of them are made up, some of them are real. For the most part, they're all real. There's just some form of manifestation, fear, trauma, whatever. Now I haven't gotten too much into it like I have with the paranormal, because cryptids is kind of one of those. That's once again, you have to kind of know what you're dealing with.
Bigfoot, Mothman, little phase, stuff like that. Those are all cryptids.
Right, right. Now that's a whole lot different than the paranormal world, obviously. Still under the same umbrella, but just a little bit different, And but yeah, I'm very excited to learn about cryptids and whatever, see what we can do with them, whatever. But what is your take on them? I mean,
have you ever wondered? You ever wonder why, you got people that actually see, like Bigfoot?
Yeah.
That actually see, like there's viable proof behind it. I mean, like between footprints, and I mean, I've got a video somewhere on my phone of this guy that's in like way up in British Columbia or whatever. This guy hears these breakings or whatever, and then all of a sudden it looks just like Bigfoot has a tree in his hand and he throws it like a spear.
Good gracious.
I know. But where are they? And why haven't we ever seen the bones of one? Why haven't we ever seen the skeletal issues?
Right. My theory is that when it comes to because I think Bigfoot, people call that a cryptid, but in my head, that's a little bit different from all the other cryptids. But I've heard it say that these cryptids are interdimensional beings.
That's what my next question. I was just about to ask you that.
Yes, sir.
I was just about to ask you that. Where do you think they come from? Because we can't see them. There's only a few places that we can go in and we can actually check. You can only see or go so far in so many caves and then not run into anything. But the thing is how do you answer the people that have had a one-on-one encounter with a Bigfoot?
Just sit back and listen in awe. I mean, because I've never seen one myself. Obviously, the Patterson film back in the 70s, that's still a big thing going today. People trying to prove and disprove it, whatnot. So I'm definitely in the area of that they do exist. I'm definitely in the area of they may be interdimensional beings. Like if you look at it, like we're the bottom dimension, right? And say if you got 9 different dimensions, these Bigfoots, let's just say they come from dimension 7. So they can go anywhere from dimension 7 on down at any given time. Now, this is the way it was explained to me. I don't know if this will make sense to anybody else, but they cannot go above dimension 7 because they're not from those dimensions. It sounds crazy. It sounds completely off the wall.
No, it really doesn't, because like there's so much unexplained stuff here. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I know it really does sound crazy and off the wall, you guys, but that's the biggest, probably that's the only theory that I can come up with. I mean, nobody else in the world has a theory about where they come from, how they get here. We've seen videos of like families of Bigfoots with little baby Sasquatches and stuff like that. I'm not really sure. I want to learn about them. I want to know about them. Because obviously they
Jeff
have an impact on us.
If you guys don't mind typing in, Jeff has a question. Jeff Kaler. He said, "Could Bigfoot be a type of Nephilim?"
Well, if you're looking at the book of Enoch, Jeff, that's the thing again. Nephilims are everywhere. They're giants. And things of that nature. But no, with their fur and their DNA, their behaviors and things like that, they're more on the line of a cryptid. A Nephilim wasn't like that. A Nephilim was a huge giant that was created, and that's out of the book of Enoch. So, I mean, like, a lot of people will base a lot of their belief on like UFOs and stuff like that from the book of Enoch. But be careful what you read. Be careful. And be careful how you read it. Because when you look at things like that and you start comparing other things to what Enoch's talking about, you're going to get lost in translation, my friend. But listen, we're about due time here. We're about due time. Didn't I tell you we'd have a great time, man?
Man, it's been a wonderful time. Thank you for having me.
See, there you go. Hey, won't you tell everybody how they can get a hold of Mr. GM John Hill? And, how they can reach you, how they can get a hold of us.
All right. So if you guys go on Facebook, look up Knights Templar Disciples of Christ, private group, request to join to answer the questions. You'll be directed to some of the members in the order. Ecclesiastical Order of the 9 Choirs, once again, another group on Facebook. Look us up, man. We're there. We're here to help. We're here for you guys. And we just want to be a blessing wherever we go, period. We want to help defend and protect Christianity at all costs and help and protect and defend humanity at all costs. So please look us up, man. We're there. Anything else? I'm not really sure how to, that's the only thing I really know is like.
You said it all, man. You said it all. That's perfect. That's perfectly said. That's a great way to end this show. John, I appreciate you coming on, man. You've been an awesome guest. I mean, we've had our laughs. We've had our, good discussions on here. I really appreciate having you on. And my goal is after I get the GMs on, I'm going to get all the GMs that we have together on one show.
That'd be awesome.
On one show. So people really get an understanding of who we are. But thank you for coming on, man. And you've been awesome. And I really appreciate you, brother. Hey, Deuce Vault, my brother. Deuce Vault.
Deuce Vault.
All right. I'm going to drop you back. All right.
Guys.
That was interesting.
That was a good show. And see, he didn't need to be all stressed out. He didn't need to be all worried about that, because I knew once you get him to where he gets out of his own head, that I mean, his conversation will be fluent. It'll be good. It'll be just like Gwen said, us just sitting around drinking coffee, sitting on the couch. And that's exactly what it is, guys. We want to be as transparent. We want to be as organic We want to make everybody as comfortable as we possibly can. And I do believe he was comfortable. But I thank everybody that chimed in, that put your comments and everything. I really appreciate it. I can't see them, but I'm going to go back and look at them. I'm going to get Angie to read them to me. But I appreciate you guys watching, and thank you guys so much for all your support, your love, and everything. And wait till next week. We got another good show. But you guys stay safe, be blessed always, and stay spooky, people. Peace.